You're staying in Fairmont tonight
Yes.
on purpose?
Yes, because it'll be closer to Rochester than coming all the way home. Because my darling youngest granddaughter has hockey in Fairmont tonight and Rochester tomorrow.
Oh, okay. I can see where you're going.
I didn't know I was going.
And you had plans.
You're
going to sit in the lounger, the Barca lounger.
Well, I'm one of those guys that, you know how when you feel a little off?
Yeah.
You'd rather be at home to feel off. Because you're deathly afraid that the feeling off could get to the feeling, and you'd rather not do that unless you're at home. I mean, I already know there are already people that understand that
neither of us might ever leave the house again.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I know that's a possibility. Everybody's got to have a goal.
Okay, into the mailbag.
Baby pigs get Christmas pardon?
Why wouldn't they?
You see, since the president started pardoning turkeys pretty soon, so now they're pardoning pork roast.
Well, I wish they'd just go alphabetically and start with aardvarks.
A little cube, I think.
I can't wait for them to get to wombats.
Because honestly,
cubed poops.
And we've gone full circle back to scat humor. All right.
Here's a headline I never thought I'd see.
Yeah.
Arkansas men arrested for taking turns pew-pewing each other.
Pew-pew?
Pew-pew. Mm-hmm.
Star Wars thing.
While wearing bulletproof vest.
Well, if the finger really went off.
After drinking.
No. See, now I'm surprised that there was alcohol involved. I would never.
And I would
have never ever guessed that.
The one comment's perfect. God forbid men have hobbies.
I can't. I want to defend that somehow.
Ain't gonna happen.
Hang on.
You might have something for it.
Nothing. No, it's coming up empty. Men have hobbies. Men have hobbies. That isn't it.
No, it's not.
Men have lots of hobbies. Some golf.
Yep.
Some rock climb.
Yep.
Some do garden things.
Yep.
There's lots of bowling, reading,
martial arts.
There's a ton of stuff men have. This is not. No.
This is a bad hobby.
This is people who should probably check their alcohol consumption.
Pretty much.
The one thing I've not been addicted to in my life
is alcohol consumption.
Yeah, my dad owned a bar. Go figure.
Yeah. Who knew? What the heck?
I mean, in any movie, that's a walking setup.
Mm-hmm.
So my favorite was It's Christmas for the Elephants. As unsold Christmas trees are fed to the animals at the Berlin Zoo.
And they eat them?
Well, that's what this one is doing in the picture. And he doesn't even peel it. I mean, it's a Christmas tree with little needly things. What are the ones with the long, thin branches? Some kind of pine. And he's just getting ready to stuff a big hunk of it in his mouth. Her mouth. Their mouth.
Its mouth.
I can't tell.
Its own elephant.
He hasn't told me his pronouns.
Now, that's true. So you have to go with them?
So apparently after the Christmas tree lots close.
Yep.
In Berlin.
Yep.
Trees that could not find a home with all the festive silvery stuff strung on them and little glass. Does anyone use the little glass bulbs anymore?
We have a few.
I watched an old movie with Ginger Rogers and can't think of his name now.
Fred Astaire.
But it's a Christmas movie that no one watches, right?
Hulk Hogan?
No, old one. Oh, Ginger Rogers, dude, was the female lead.
Oh.
And she was a great actress, and everyone remembers her for the dribble she did with Fred Astaire.
Well, that's what I suggested, that it was Fred Astaire.
Yeah, no, it's not.
Okay, fine.
This is one of the great leading men of all time.
Stretch Armstrong?
In my head. But he wasn't. No. Stop it. But they were, and Shirley Temple was 17 in this show.
Oh, my goodness.
And the only way you could tell it was Shirley Temple was the face still looked right, but the rest of her looked so large. There was much more of her. I'm used to her being,
teeny tiny pocket person.
Fun size. So anyway, The only reason I bring this up is they were doing a Christmas tree.
Yep.
And they had those, those very delicate glass balls we had that you would hang on the tree.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they were doing those. Don't break those. That was great grandma, blah, blah, blah. It's like, all right, this is 1944. Her mom is older. So great grandma would be, holy crap, those could be like 100 years old already.
Right.
Man.
And they made them out of glass. What
so anyway,
a dumb idea.
Basically the lead actor, Powell. No. Anyway.
Colin Powell.
Sure. He wasn't even born yet when this movie was made. The movie is 1944.
See how good he is?
He came back from the South Seas with what we would call today as PTSD, what they referred to as shell shock back then.
Yep.
And he was...
William Powell.
Could have been.
Willie.
Well, now I've got... Anyway.
Grapefruit to his friends.
No. But he brought a touch of sophistication to it that you look at and go, oh, why was this poor bastard in the South Seas? But he got sent home after a bayonet wound and obviously the aforementioned shell shock.
Yeah. I can see where that would go.
I think it's something... It's got a really witty title like I'll See You Later.
Okay.
I'm going to watch this thing. And the only place I could find it was on... Can I say YouTube?
Yeah.
Okay. The only place I could find it was on YouTube. There's no restoration done, so some of it was kind of fuzzy.
Oh, sure.
But it was spectacular character studies of a bunch of people and how different times were.
Oh, yeah.
And she,
if you
the
watch,
lead lady, Ginger, was the only reason she's at home for Christmas. Or not at home, actually. She's with her aunt and uncle.
Okay.
Because she's serving 6 years for manslaughter.
Wow, what a jolly movie.
It's kind of entertaining. It has its sad moments, but it's a great character study.
Okay.
Joseph Cotton.
Good old Joe.
You don't even, I want to.
He has eyes of cotton too.
Such a hit you'll get.
Cotton-eyed Joe.
Delegate. But he did the PTSD wonderfully, and obviously Ginger's, out on 10-day parole for Christmas after serving half of her 6-year sentence for manslaughter.
And being told, hey, don't kill anybody else.
And when you hear the story that she tells to her 17-year-old cousin.
Okay.
Right, because she's with her uncle and aunt.
Yep, there you go.
When she tells her the story, you find out that, well, she kind of, like a 20-year-old, she had those weird glassy-eyed dreams and thought maybe her boss was the one. So the boss invited her to a party at his apartment. Guess how many people who else he invited? Nobody.
It was a very intimate party.
So she wasn't comfortable with where this was going. So she tried to leave. He grabbed her. They struggle. She pushes him off, and he trips over a chair. And she thinks she can escape, but he grabs her again, and she pushes him as hard as she can, and he goes over the chair through the window on the 14th floor.
Yeah. Okay.
In 1944, that gets you put away for 6 years for manslaughter.
Apparently.
Today, you get a parade.
And maybe you should have a parade.
I can argue both cases.
Yeah, exactly. So, do you remember, was it John Michaels who brought in the Insultinator to net radio?
Was it him or Pete?
That's it. I don't know if it was him or Pete.
Because although your first thought would be we would have brought it in.
Right. We did not find it.
No, but I did find the Luther Insultinator.
Did you?
Same sort of stuff, yeah.
Oh.
Only things Luther said.
I've seen some of those insults.
He's very good.
He's German. What can you say?
He was nasty. He did this. He would blah, blah, blah. Yeah, you're in the 21st century where,
just relax.
Cracking a toenail, for God's sake, is a sin.
Well,
they were very blunt back then.
I remember my favorite thing, it had 4 buttons, and it would always start with your then you would hit the second button, and it would say something. You'd hit the third button, it would say something else, and then the fourth button would be the conclusion. But if you skipped buttons, very interesting things would happen. You're a totally bonehead was my very favorite one that ever came out. Right?
Grammar notwithstanding, it works.
And I always thought that was hilarious. So I found an AI insult generator the other day.
Oh, these AI might be a great thing someday.
Oh, this is good. Because they've got modes.
Oh.
Witty.
Yeah.
Shakespearean.
Oh.
Brutal.
Oh.
Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah. Oh. Oh, where is this?
Hang on.
Send it to me.
Monty Python.
Nope, I'm still back at. That's not bad, but I'm still back at Sherlock Holmes.
Okay, then let me do the Python, and then we'll do a quick Sherlock. Okay.
Give me a couple of pythons.
All I did was type in insult instructions. Politicians. One of our favorite targets.
Low-hanging fruit.
Yeah. Politicians, you slithering conglomerate of unmitigated gall and insincerity. You shamelessly self-aggrandizing mounds of electoral pond scum. You're not so much a representation of the people as you are a caricature drawn by a cran-wielding toddler with a penchant for absurdist theater. You wade through the swamp of public discourse with the grace of a hippopotamus in a tutu, believing that the mere echo of your own vacuous words somehow lends them the weight of wisdom. You there in the back with the hand and the hair.
I'm just thinking you could say that about Monty Python.
Yeah. But there's another 5 paragraphs. Let's go on.
Give me Sherlock.
Sherlock Holmes. Okay, let's do Sherlock Holmes, and I'll do it about the same thing.
Yep.
Politicians, a most curious breed of humanity, aren't they? Like a swarm of moths drawn to the flame of power, yet utterly incapable of withstanding the heat of true scrutiny or the light of genuine responsibility. Let us begin by dissecting their cunning linguistic facade. Observe how they flutter about, their words a dance of evasion and half-truths, a veritable ballad of stop moving, a veritable ballad of, dang.
I wasn't moving.
No, it keeps.
No, Marty's giving me grief over here. The zebra's being quiet, but you don't get it. No.
A veritable ballet of deceit. There, it stopped moving. Each sentence they construct is a labyrinth of rhetoric designed to confound the listener rather than to elucidate the issues at hand. Well, and it goes on for, another 4 or 5 paragraphs. So it's just look up AI insult generator.
Okay.
And you'll get a kick out of it. It's the per chance one.
What I like about Martin Luther is that his were mostly confined to theologian types.
Yeah.
Because honestly, back then, they knew it was really important as opposed to what they think is important.
Yeah.
I mean, and he was just nasty. And you can't say that. Well, yeah, you can. And honestly, he wasn't that bad compared to some of the other guys.
Well, his insistence.
You ever find any stuff Johann Eck wrote? Oh, boy.
Luther's insistence
My
on
mom would have
using,
washed his brain out with a drill.
His insistence on
like
using the word merde.
Yeah.
And it's various variations.
And it's, yes. It softens. See, now, for one, German, Russian, those sort of, they're very guttural sounding to us, very harsh sounding to us.
Yep.
Like the old meme says.
Yep.
Life is short. So tell those you love that you love them every day. And life is also scary, so yell it at them in German.
Ich liebe dich.
I don't liebe, sir.
Are you going to do that other story here?
Michelle sent me a story.
Yeah.
And all it said in the info line on the email was more tragic, but weird.
Yeah.
It's a video on YouTube, which I think Scott's going to put somewhere down there.
I'll link it in
the stuff
below.
And it's a piece that's for a TV news station in Cleveland. So it's not in depth, but it's interesting because this poor guy's house, he is on a T-turn of what looks to be a reasonably busy road.
Mm-hmm.
His house is paid for, sort of. I say sort of because in 10 years, people have apparently not been able to navigate that T-turn. Now, he's not right at the point of the T-turn. He's just off, I'd say, the left top of the T. Mm-hmm. Just a hair off center.
Yep. So
far, he's lost his kitchen, his living room, and a truck that I know of. He's been hit 4 times in 10 years.
Yep.
It's to the point now where he is paying top-end rates for homeowners insurance, and should he file another claim, his company said they'd drop him.
And that's just vicious.
Now
that ain't his fault.
Now I'm thinking he owns this house. What are mortgages? If at the very shortest, 15 would be the shortest normal mortgage.
Yeah.
Now these have all happened in the last 10 years. What happened? Well, in the early 2000s, the city decided in its wisdom that the guardrails that protected those homes on the T, honest to God, somebody said, those look ugly. Let's take them out. I have no doubt that's what happened. They don't actually tell you, but the city decided to remove them, and they're not putting them back.
So this guy's house, why is there not?
His house is paid for.
There should be lawyers lined up around the block to take this one on.
Would you? I mean,
yeah, I'd sue the city.
I'd be very careful lining up around that house.
Okay, line up around one house down the block.
When you watch the video, there's a marvelous he tells you about the first one where they wiped out his vehicle parked in his driveway. And the picture of what looks like a smaller sedan.
Yeah.
Where his picture window was.
Yeah, used to be.
There's also a picture of the left side of the house obviously being redone a lot because there's a huge place where there are no bricks and it's a brick house. Just watch it. It's weird and sad. And tell me why they would. Do you think these accidents happen during the day?
No.
I'm thinking they happen at the dark. So what did the city do to help him? Is a Hang on. I need the air bunny.
Yeah.
The temporary solution.
Yeah.
They put boulders in his yard.
Yeah.
Not on the boulevard.
Right.
In his yard. Well, I'm thinking you put him on the boulevard, you're going to have very angry snowplow drivers. What the hell are you doing?
Well, then put the guardrails back up for Pete's sake.
They won't. They don't want to do that.
Yeah, apparently. Yeah.
That would be admitting something, I'm sure, in their heads. But you look at the boulders and they look like
way out of place.
So what he does is he makes signs on white cardboard and puts them in front. My favorite was very short and to the point. Idiot. Because if you're reading that sign, you're probably parked in his yard.
Yep. Absolutely. And I love the fact, he put up a speed bump.
What do you suppose is going to happen when a guy hits that going 85? Well, it's a nice arc. I think they could clear the boulders.
I think he could achieve orbit.
Where do you think they put the speed bump?
I have no idea.
If they put it right at the intersection.
Sign?
Yeah, because if they put it right near the intersection, they had a chance.
Yeah, but no.
But I'm guessing it's just far enough back where I'm guessing those boulders could be cleared.
Yeah, potentially. I'm sure that they figured
what was that boulder in Oregon, in Bend?
Oh, where people were getting hung up
on it, and they have no idea how because they can see it.
Yeah, well, it's in the parking lot.
Yeah. I think they moved it, though, if I remember. I don't remember now. Anyway, put that out there. Then you'll be safe. Maybe that's what they're doing. They read the story. So let's put boulders out here. Maybe all boulders are overachievers.
And let's hope.
You know, the car going 4 feet over them at 80 miles an hour, and we're pretty sure they can reach up and grab him. Come on, these are Ohio boulders. They're not stupid Bend, Oregon boulders. You know how Bend is. Oh, wishy and squishy.
And the things you say about Ohio?
I told you those things in confidence.
Oh, well, then I shouldn't have posted them on the internet the way I did.
That explains some things.
On to the comments. Apropos
and I stand by it. You've got the Buckeyes, who, by the way, had my favorite game when they whipped on Oregon, but okay.
Apropos, this is true, really news.
Way to go, Penn State, too, by the way.
923.
Big Ten rep.
From OldFatMan.
However, Arizona State has legitimate gripe. Not only was it not targeting, they said, it wasn't even a penalty. When he smashed his face mask through the guy's ear hole.
Yeah, well, you shouldn't be able to do that.
But we want to keep people safe. It's kind of like the NHL. They have a player safety division.
But
you can laugh out loud at that. Oh, no, what I'm thinking is when Spurgeon got slew-footed and will be out for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
The idiot who has a known record in hockey for fights and injuries and things.
Yep.
Has suspensions at every level he's played above high school or whatever they call it in Canada.
The guy's a brute.
He's an idiot. And when he's skating off after he hurt Spurgeon, he's just ever so happy-go-lucky, chewing on his mouthguard. He wanted to kind of paste him with a club the size of a tree. 3 games. Player safety, my left ear hole.
Apropos of This Is True Really News, episode 923 from OldFatMan. Remember way back when I was describing the cask
machine,
the cask strength whiskey
yes,
Ian bought me for Christmas?
Yes.
And you said, wow, that's 184 proof.
No, I said it's...
Actually, you did.
Divide by 2, it's 90% alcohol.
Yeah. In any case, 184 proof? How does that compare with jet fuel?
It would work.
Well, I can tell you.
I mean, it would work as jet fuel. I wouldn't drink the jet fuel.
I was going to say it tastes better.
Okay. Anyway.
Once I saw the comment, I had to try. And we have
I just want to say one thing. Just one thing.
What?
Welcome to my life, people.
Apropos, This Is True Really News, episode 924 from my brother, Chris Combs, no relation.
Chris!
Chris. Intro.
I was going to say ma'am, but that wouldn't work.
Yes, it would.
You're evil. I finally figured it out. You've got a crazy one, good ones, nice ones, and an evil one.
Ah, who's the evil one?
Uh-huh.
Fine. The intro, when I was screaming in 924, where I was going, ah!
Yes. My therapist is going to talk to you, by the way.
I hope so. Says, look like those crab skivvies came to life. I used to have a pair of underwear that had crabs and lobsters all over them. And I called them my crabby pants.
So, you know how so you went up from crappy pants to crabby pants.
Well, let's just say little one.
It could have been a mix, yeah.
Some from column A, some from column B.
I would like everyone, if they could, just take a moment, either where you're watching this, where you're listening to this, or write it, or send us an email and just tell me, is that too much information? Because if it's not, I'm sure Chris can share more.
Oh, absolutely. And I can talk about his.
Well, that degenerated quickly, didn't it, Lou? Yeah.
Let's get out of here.